Ponero, Ledesma, Rojas, and Lanzini in midfield. Gutierrez and Cavenaghi are Ramon Diaz's men. Quilmes with Benitez on goal. Leyes, Carli, Lema, and Suarez, the very tall defensive back four. Carrasco, Diaz, Benitez, Godoy, very young Godoy, on midfield. And Rios and Telechea are Ricardo Caruso Lombardi's men. And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Felipe Mkhitaryan. I'll be your narrating the entire 90 minutes of this, what should be a fantastic match. And like I said before, it's all in their hands. They do not depend on, they don't want to depend on anybody else's results. You know that's a very risky thing to do. And Quilmes, even though they're on a good run, they beat Gimnasia last round, beat Argentinos in the round before that, beat Racing in the round before that. So they're coming from 3 wins, saving themselves from relegation. And that should not come into play when the title is what's on the line here for River Plate. There are also 2 other matches playing at the moment. Before this match, we had Rafaela, Colón, and Godoy Cruz all saving themselves. But here's a chance from Cavenaghi. I'll explain what's going on around the league after this. Seems as though we have time here. Cavenaghi, nothing coming of this one. As I was saying, Atlético Rafaela, Colón, and Godoy Cruz all had relegation battles against their respective opponents, and Colón and Rafaela with 2 last-minute goals actually saving themselves from relegation. And those two, Rafaela and Colón, will in turn play a match between themselves to see who will stay with the last position of the Primera División. Here's River Plate with Vangioni. Carrasco with the tough marking on Vangioni. And look at the Monumental de Núñez. Haven't seen the stadium like this in a while. Since the days of Mascherano, back in the mid-2000s, when River were still contenders at the Copa Libertadores, a place they will be hoping to come back, the top level of South American football, which they have always been part of. Boca also playing their match today with Gimnasia and Tigre and Estudiantes. If River tie or lose here and Estudiantes win, it's Estudiantes that'll be left with the title. So, as I said before, River depends solely on themselves, and they have more than enough firepower in order to achieve this. Even though Quilmes are on a good run, should not match River Plate's power at home, where they're unbeatable, practically. But it's still tied up top, and they do need to treat this as a final. There's Vangioni. Vangioni, Carrasco, no foul, and it's going to be a throw-in for Quilmes. It's the chance from Lanzini. I believe River Plate need to be careful with aerial balls, because Quilmes have a very tall defensive back of 4 line. Suarez, Lema, Carli, and Leyes all over 6 feet tall. River playing it fast. Vangioni with the ball, taking the free kick back to Ledesma. Mercado. Mercado, one of Sabela's men for the World Cup. 25 days from now. Here's Lanzini. Lanzini gets blocked. Mercado has it nonetheless. And here's Carbonero, the top goal scorer, Colombiano from Bogotá. Rojas, clear. No problem for Quilmes to clear this. And that should be a handball. Diaz appealing for that handball. Certainly but I don't think Truco caught it. 0-0 in all the 4:30 matches. 4:30 p.m. Buenos Aires time. Excuse me, Florida time. Crowd has silenced themselves a bit, but here's reason for them to get back up. Cabenagui with Ledesma Lanzini. Lanzini plays it to Teo. Teo has Vangioni, and Vangioni could cross it. Lanzini. Teo, Ledesma with the shot! First close call for River Plate. Could have well been a goal. Got a bit carried away there, but it was a beautiful play by this River offense. Very quick first touches connecting ultimately to Ledesma, who comes very, very close to piercing Walter Benitez's target. Quilmes certainly all the way out back and playing on River's mistakes, counter-attacking, which they do very efficiently through the flanks. Lucas Perez Godoy. Lucas Perez Godoy, only 20 years old, had a fantastic match last round when they beat Gimnasia. Gimnasia, title contenders still, but very small chance. Pretty much it's between River Plate and Estudiantes de La Plata. We're playing against Tigre, and their match right now is also at a deadlock. During the 10th minute here, and here's Balanta back in the River starting lineup. Looking for Rojas. Connect through the middle, where these tall defenders can't get to them as fast as they would hope to. Being very tall and not as quick as River has Lanzini. They have Carbonero. This man you see right here on your screen, very fast, offensive, key figures for River Plate in this Torneo Final campaign. It's a very successful campaign. As I was saying before, River Plate, they need to win, because if they tie and Estudiantes win, Estudiantes has a better goal differential, and they'll in turn take the title. Balanta cutting that ball away from danger. Here's Mercado starting over. Mercado looking for Teo. Teo looked for teammate on the middle. Lema had doing very busy these first 10 minutes. The central back for Quilmes. And here's Rojas to Cabenagui. Cabenagui, long resume, this man. Surely once, he's been essential for this River Plate campaign as well. Comes back to help as often as he can. Not the youngest of players, over 30 years old, but still very, very good stamina by Fernando Cavenaghi. And here's the chance for River! And the golazo! Cavenaghi makes it 1-0 in the 10th minute! River Plate on their way to winning the title. Nothing, nobody, based on these first 10 minutes, can take it away from them. If they can continue this style of play and this pace, they will take it and make this fanatic crowd at the Monumental de Núñez and Argentina and abroad ecstatic, as they should. And this man right here, Ricardo Caruso Lombardi, make him sit back down in the bench. Great header by Carbonero. Good save, reflex save by Benitez, but Cavenaghi was there onside. Just had the simple trouble of touching it back into the net, and Cavenaghi makes it 1-0 for River Plate. So here you see River Plate with this. 37 points, Estudiantes. Still 0-0 with Tigre. 33. Everything is in River's favor. Everything. Points to a red and white trophy tonight. In a beautiful night in Buenos Aires, 59 degrees, start of the autumn season in the southern hemisphere. And River regrouping here and need to go for another one. They can't just sit back on this lead. It's a very slim lead. Some teams think that it's enough, but believe me, it is not. I doubt they'll do that though. Ramon Diaz is not one for being very defensive-minded, especially with such offensive players of an offensive caliber that he has in this squad. I doubt that's what he'll be doing. Entire stadium is on its feet, as they should be. River Plate looking very good in these first 10 minutes, not choking as many thought they would, like certain teams would do in situations like this. And River Plate looking very good, dominating this match. The possession is theirs. Control of the ball is theirs. The midfield is all River Plate's right now at this moment. And here's Mercado. Mercado will play it back to Maidan. Maidana to Balanta, the other Colombian, part of this spine of River Plate, this Colombian spine, a dorsal spine. Starting with Balanta, Carbonero, and Teo up front. I mean, these three guys are essential for this Millonario side. It's a double man on. Cavenaghi and Rojas going up to mark. They need to be careful not to tire themselves out. It's a very explosive pace from River, but it's this decisive match. No problem there. So I'm saying it's a decisive match, and sometimes the adrenaline overtakes everything else, and it's going to be very detrimental in the end, where most teams get scored on. Take a look at statistics. I mean, it's all down to the final 15 minutes when you need to be at your best physically. Bangioni. I'll be updating you throughout the 90 minutes on the other two results. We already had Arsenal and Rafaela beating Arsenal in Sarandí. Godoy Cruz beating Racing 2-1 in Mendoza over out west in wine country. And Colón also with the last minute goal beating Olimpo of Bahía Blanca in Santa Fe 2-1. Also with the late goal from Lucas Alario. Colón and Rafaela will play a playoff between themselves to see who will stay and who will fall to La B, Primera B Nacional. So far, Argentinos Juniors and All Boys done, have descended. Bangioni having some trouble here. Bangioni have his first title here. Not only him, but lots of members of this River Plate squad. Lots of younger, formerly unknown players. Very hungry River Plate side. I really like them this season. And I think they can go far but here's Quilmes. I mean, as I was saying, I think they can go far if they maintain their pace and they keep themselves grounded and not think that just because they won a torneo final that they can be just pretty much done. Continuous process. Football must get better at every day that passes, every season. Barovero back from injury, his second match back. Bit bittersweet for River fans because Chichisola, I mean, he did a fantastic job substituting Barovero while the number one for River was out due to injury. Here we see the goal and Ramon Diaz just popping his collar. Looking fresh for the title. Celebrations, I'm not calling it. Don't want any heat, I'm not calling it. But River looked very good in these first 20 minutes at home here in Buenos Aires. Monumental de Núñez, packed. Over 50,000 here for sure tonight. This chilly autumn night, start of an autumn night in Argentina. The beautiful city of Buenos Aires. And here's perhaps a dangerous opportunity against River. From Quilmes, their first in 20 minutes. River doing a pretty good job keeping the ball, but here's, I mean, off of one set piece play, everything can change. No trouble here. Christian Lema certainly going up. Try and head it. Lema, Cardi, all 1.90 centimeters, 1.91 meters. Both central backs for Quilmes. As I said before, very tall. We'll certainly see more of them on set piece options for Quilmes, which could be a pain for them in order to go back and regroup. They need to be quick. Good hustle there by River. Keep the ball out, and here's Quilmes now. Balanta with stretching his foot out to keep the ball from connecting out to Telechea. Now Quilmes have to go back. They're just really playing these long, deep balls in for their forwards, Telechea and Rios. See, pretty much the first time they hold the ball for more than a minute here. And it's Telechea drawing the corner kick, or that's a goal kick. Acosta makes it 1-0 for Boca. Boca playing with a mixed, about 7 youngsters in their lineup. Boca still with remote chances to make it to the Copa Libertadores. Already made it to the Copa Sudamericana, but here's River. Pagioni. Carrasco doing a good job shielding the ball there. Or Leges, excuse me. Walter Benitez to take the goal kick, and Ramon Diaz just cannot sit down. Beautiful sight here at the Monumental de Núñez, Central Buenos Aires. Lema. Good move by Lema, and Gonzalo Rios with the foul on Balanta. Eder Alvarez Balanta, a member of the Colombian national team. It's Jose Beckerman. Not sure if Carbonero will be there or not. As of this time, no Carbonero. Colombia will prepare themselves with 2 friendlies at San Lorenzo Stadium just before the World Cup against Jordan. And one to be confirmed just right before the World Cup. And guys, do not forget, after this match, 6:30, stay tuned for Brasileirão Round 5, the inauguration of the Corinthians Arena, state-of-the-art, super, ultra modern opening venue of the World Cup down in Brazil, where we'll see Brazil-Croatia. After the opening ceremony, for Corinthians taking on Figueirense. Corinthians looking very good at the start of this Brasileirão. Figueirense has not even scored a single goal in 4 rounds, let alone win a match. 4 matches, 4 losses for Figueirense. Corinthians in up above in the standings. Still very early though, but be sure to catch that match. Certainly the first official test of an official match before the World Cup, where you'll get to know the arena, where we'll see plenty of matches in the greatest stage of football, as well as a semi-final. And here's River Plate with Carbonero. And Leandro Diaz forced to just keep that ball out. That was a handball by Lanzini. Leandro Benitez certainly saw it and appealed for it, but so far Silvio Truco very seems a bit disconnected from reality. Needs to be more on top of these. Yes, keeps himself separated by way too much from these this place. And Estudiantes have scored in their game. And here's River with the goal! River makes it 2-0. Mercado. River Plate doing their job, and no matter, it doesn't matter if Estudiantes have scored, because River Plate are doing their job. And this man right here, Gabriel Mercado, is the one who scores it on the 25th minute for the Millonarios at home in front of their crowd to make it 2-0 and put one hand on that well-deserved trophy. River doing their job. No chance for Benitez there. Mercado came from behind. Nobody knew where he was coming from. And Mercado and Maidana play alongside each other. Ramon Diaz with his son. So it's just all the ingredients for an amazing day for any River Plate fan and a fan of football. Oh, and no, my friend, you do not want to do. Oh, River Plate. That's something you'll see a team that's winning do. Not much from the losing side, but Quilmes pretty much seem like they're just here to ruin it. They have no aspirations at all. They're safe to stay in the Primera División next season, and they're just here to, like I said, to ruin what could be a fantastic day for River Plate. So 2-0, my friends. Header well wide. Fantastic assist from Maidana. This is what we want to see. If you're a River fan, this is the stuff that gives you goosebumps. Packed house, not a single soul with their behinds on the seat. And your team up 2-0 before the halftime whistle. I mean, there's nothing better than that. Banchioni playing it with Rojas. Sends it out. Rojas, Ledesma, Rojas, Cavenaghi. It's the back of Benitez. Banchioni out to Maidana. Back to Barovero, who sends it deep. And it's Diaz with the head. Telechea tried to control it, but Nears Carbonero much faster, much more technical, and ball is left for Joel Carli to clear it out for a River Plate throw in. Teo Gutierrez, another member of Jose Pekerman's squad for Brazil 2014. Teo, I'm sure we'll see more from this guy. Minutes over in Boca, and Gimnasia, and Boca still up with an Acosta goal. And here's River Plate with Banchioni with the shot. So Guido Carrillo made the goal for Estudiantes in Victoria, and Estudiantes up 1-0 versus Tigre at Tigre. Tigre also safe. Barely though. Just with Godoy Cruz with the win, I'm sure they They've bettered their average in the relegation table. Godoy Cruz and Tigre are just right above them. So it's all remain to be seen and checked after these matches here, the conclusion of the matches, where we'll finally know the score and how many goals and whatnot. Carbonero switches sides. Vangioni with the chest. Nice chest assist. Back to Vangioni. Theo Vangioni, Ledesma. It's almost as if they're in the practice field. That one-touch scrimmage matches. Dos toques o menos. 2 touches or less. It's a technique seen in South American coaches love. To set out scrimmages with that style of training. And River pretty much controlling it in their own back here with Maidana, Balanta. Maidana with the ball. Lanzini all the way back there. Going down. Pace of the match has died down considerably after the second goal, as it should have been. River Plate pretty much with a perfect first half. Tactically just untouchable here. If I would have to rate their match in the first 30 minutes, would be a perfect 10. They're doing their job, not letting their opponents play past their midfield and into their defensive sector. And up 2-0, which is exactly what they wanted to do, and pretty much crushing Ricardo Caruso Lombardi's words midweek, saying that he was going to ruin River Plate's hopes. Beautiful, beautiful sight here with the city skyline. Huge skyline of Central Buenos Aires in the background. Start of an evening, Sunday evening in la capital federal de Buenos Aires. And here is River with the chance, starting always with Carbonero on that right flank. Back to Rojas. Mercado will play it back to Maidana. Maidana to Balan. Rojas nearly losing it there. Fantastic touch. Lanzini, very good on that flank. Speedy Lanzini. Cavenaghi try to cut in and was getting ready to shoot, but got dispossessed very well there by the Quilmes defender. So it's Ledesma with the first yellow. This foul on Gonzalo Rios. Here's Quilmes. Here's Godoy. Godoy try to put it in. Good job by Balanta or Carbonero to draw the goal kick. So Boca, as I was saying, still, I mean, they, of course, Boca with the most successful South American, in terms of South American titles, the Copa Libertadores titles speaking. Of course, they want to go back to that stage, Copa Libertadores, but in order to do that, they need to win their match, which they are doing, but they need Estudiantes to lose or not to win. San Lorenzo, who play tomorrow against Vélez, not to win as well. And Lanús, not to win. So they depend on way too much, but it's still very possible. You know, nothing is impossible in football. Here's Carbonero. Carbonero with the good ball in for his teammate Teo, but that was definitely not Teo, and it was Gabriel Mercado running up the entire flank, cutting through there. Would have been a fantastic play into the final 10 minutes of the half. The River Plate are doing their homework, doing their job at home. River haven't lost since back in April 6th to Belgrano over in Cordoba. Since then, it's a win at home against Rafaela, a draw at La Plata against Estudiantes, 1-0 at home win versus Vélez, a tough draw 1-1 against Olimpo, a match you saw here as well. Then they beat Racing, Argentinos Juniors. These past 3 matches you saw here on Gold TV, pretty much following the Millonarios on their quest to this Torneo Final title in the past few rounds. Of River Plate, who actually have been a late bloomer in this Torneo Final. Nobody really thought of them as title contenders when we started this season after the Christmas break. But here's a corner to be taken by Lanzini. Cavenaghi, certainly the recipient. Carbonero nearly with the head in, but here's a potential counter attack from Quilmes, but River Plate very quick to regroup. Nonetheless, it's Telechea with some space. Leandro Diaz will shoot from outside. And Ricardo Caruso Lombardi just itches the temple, and by that little action there from this coach, from Quilmes coach, you can pretty much guess what or how he must be feeling with this team in this first half. Not satisfied. I mean, I wouldn't be, but it's not up to them. I mean, they're playing against a very formidable adversary, an adversary who were coming with nothing else in their minds but the win. So far haven't made any mistakes. Fantastic there by Rojas. I mean, all 11 players pretty much on fire from River Plate. And Rojas certainly tripped there. You can, as you can see on the replay, Carbonero has 2 on top of him, but not. Very physical game. And that should not change throughout the entire remaining Second half coming up. 5 minutes from this. Rojas, Vangioni has Teo. Chooses to go with Teo, but seem a bit tired there. We'll certainly need to take advantage of that 15-minute break. Magical sprays, water, hydration, whatnot. Ledesma. Vangioni, Ledesma. Balanta. Mind you, those of you who think River Plate aren't having a fantastic season, San Lorenzo were the champions of the Torneo Inicial last in the Torneo Inicial with only 33 points. And look where they're at now. Semi-finalists of the Copa Libertadores. And San Lorenzo having their minds very, very far away from this Torneo Final, domestically in general. I mean, they're only after the World Cup they will be playing for the decisive finals to determine who will be the super champions of the season, should I say. Or the Torneo Inicial and the Torneo Final face each other, but that, as I mentioned before, just only after the World Cup. Like the semifinals of the Copa Libertadores as well, where San Lorenzo are facing up against an extremely tough adversary, where they're going to be playing up in the skies against Bolívar, who not only have the advantage of playing in La Paz, but have a very good team as well. But here's River, the chance to make it 3. Lanzini dribbles, has 5 against him. Great shot in for Teo. My God, if that would have been a goal. Would have been fantastic stuff from Lanzini, the former Fluminense, the number 10 and creative mastermind of this River Plate side, at least in the left flank. Good ball in. Carbonero goes down, and he's gonna be a foul. Very, very close to being a penalty, but it's right, basically on the line. My. Joel Carli. Look at that touch from Cavenaghi. Carli pretty much clotheslining. Would have been a penalty. I mean, Silvio Trucco just not awarding it because he doesn't want to. You see Chichisola jumping up like a maniac outside upon the Carbonero going down. But let's see this. Let's see what comes of this. It's Lanzini to take it. Lanzini. Carbonero with the screen to no one, and it's going to be Vangioni. Headed out. And my friends, Tigre have equalized against Estudiantes. Pretty much on their first attempt on goal. In the 41st minute, Tigre have made it 1-1 in Victoria against Estudiantes, the only team who can pretty much bring some danger against River Plate. Rojas to take a corner here. Great news for River Plate. Ledesma, ball in. No. Carbonero, Ledesma. Going to play with Lanzini. Get dispossessed. Ledesma keeps it in. Had it gone out? Yes, it had. So pretty much River with 37 points and Estudiantes with 33. 4-point difference. No bother for the Millonarios at this moment. Rojas. Great first half from this midfielder with the green cleats, the avocado green cleats. Carbonero. Lanzini following it against the much bigger and slower Christian Lema, the central back, loses it. Rojas. Teo had the chance. Referee's gonna say, get right back up, my friend. I was right on top of you. He was right, Silvio Truco right on top of him. Of course, he's not gonna give that to Teo. And here's a chance for Quilmes. Foul on or in favor of Gonzalo Rios. But that's it. No extra time. And after the first 45 minutes, River lead at 2-0 and are well on their way to the title. Stay with us. After a short break, much more from the Monumental. Victoria, where Tigre and the Estudiantes de La Plata are tied at 1 apiece. And Silvio Truco put the ball in the middle. And into the second half you go, my friends. If you've just joined us, this is the last round of the Torneo Final. First, the top flight of the Argentine division of football between River Plate, title contenders, just betting on a win here in order to lift the cup, and Quilmes, who are just here to ruin it and complete their schedule, basically. So pretty early on, River drawing the corner, and it's going to be, of course, Lanzini, former Fluminense. Manuel Lanzini, 21 years old, formed at River Plate, a River youth product. To take the corner, head it out, only blue and white shirts in that box. And here's a chance for a counter. Very smart there. In part by Carrasco. Well, he did. There was contact there. Yes, there was. At first, it seemed like there wasn't. And it seemed like he just dove in order to draw the foul since the ball was already unreachable. But tell that right ankle. So at Tigres Stadium in Victoria, second half is underway between Tigre and Estudiantes, 1-1. Nasi at home also. Final 45 minutes between their match against Boca, where they're down 1-0 with a Luciano Acosta goal. So Vangioni for that tackle. Got the booking, the second booking of the match, second booking for River Plate. Here's Carbonero. Lanzini lost it. Carbonero, just such an excellent job to just hold the ball, and just a very strong player. I mean, this is very valuable for those European scouts. It's a key component they look for, these, especially in South American players, in order to just snatch them and take them to the career leagues and ligas of mighty La Ligas. We see plenty of South American talent, though not as often as before. So I would like to say, since the economy has been getting a little better, especially in Brazil. Not so much in Argentina, but we do have lots of talent in Argentina still. And Tigre at Victoria are beating Estudiantes. And there you saw a little glimpse of a view of Estudiantes fans. And not happy. Things just not going the Pincha's way. And River are up 2-0 and pretty much with nothing to worry about right now. Tigre also, of course, fighting or just trying to better their average in order to remain in the Primera División. Rojas. Vangioni back to Rojas. Look for Vangioni. Great ball in, and here's Vangioni. Oh, and the Quilmes player lost his footing there. And this goes off the crossbar. Cross meant for no one, really, going off the crossbar. And here's Carbonero left with the ball. Cavenaghi. Carbonero. And no, nothing here. Rojas. Vangioni. Make sure you stay tuned after this, everyone. Corinthians Fluminense, round 5 of the Brasileirão. An unveiling of the very, very beautiful state-of-the-art Arena Corinthians, where at the World Cup it'll be known as the Arena São Paulo. Oh, and here's a ball that Echea pretty much had no idea was coming his way, and cleared by the River defense, who up to this point have been impeccable. All players from Quilmes and River's bench just warming up around the track of the Monumental de Núñez, an Olympic track. Barovero. Some hope for expect to see his name in Sabela's list, but Barovero was not included. And from Argentina, it's Orion who will be there. No idea who will start though. Very hard to call. Dale all the way back there, nearly lost it, and fantastic stuff from Ariel Rojas. Lanzini back to Rojas, who's on fire. Ledesma, Music, Teo, Ledesma, Carbonero, and that's Mercado to Teo, and Teo tried the 1-2 with Cavenaghi, went down, Truco, is not going to fall for it. Teo's been, should be smarter than that. I mean, he's been testing Truco, Silvio Truco, the referee, and he's just not having it today. So he should just pretty much pick himself up and play. Could have very well been avoided, perhaps spun there, but went down, looking for that foul. And River fans doing their part, just like their team. Fantastic stuff here. Teo asks for it back, Lanzini holds it, looks for Carbonero. Teo has Cavenaghi on the middle, Mercado. Will play it safe to Ledesma. Lanzini in the middle. Has Vangioni out and the left. Should have passed it to Vanjoni, but Ledesma doing a great job to hold it, to dispossess. Quilmes, should I say. And the possession's back with the home side, the Millonarios, the soon-to-be Torneo Final champions. I think it's safe to say it already. Maidana and Gonzalo Rios. Regular just physical play. It is a physical sport, and good sportsmanship by the River defender and Quilmes attacker. Gonzalo Rios, 22, and Maidana, also a bit older, 28, former Banfields. Born right here in Buenos Aires at Los Andes. And this is such a beautiful sight at this Monumental de Núñez Stadium. Argentina's the national team, former home. They do still play here. I think for some this will always be the Seleccion's home venue. This is just such a beautifully typical South American football pitch. Very wide, circular oval shaped. And here's River Plate. Had Cavenaghi, had Lanzini as well. Lanzini would have been a better option to his left, but Dale once again dispossessed. And here's Quilmes. Quilmes with Carli. Carli moving on up. Has Leges. Leges back. Holds it. It's Carli. Carli, the defender, the central back, all the way up here, taking on another central back, Balanta. Of course, the Colombian had it, won that battle. Benitez. That was Rios. And Barovero. First real test in the second half. Good job for Barovero. Double substitution, or yes, it's going to be a double substitution for Quilmes. Facundo Diz, the forward, and Sebastián Romero coming in. Let's see who will be coming out for these two. These had some good games in this Torneo Final. Facundo Ignacio is a center forward, 35 years old. Also tall, former Platenses. Okay. One of the many neighborhood clubs of this humongous city, humongous football city that is Buenos Aires. And there's no foul there. But River are exceptional out back, giving Quilmes no options. Ledesma back with the control. Fantastic stuff. Lanzini, Cavenaghi, magnificent stuff by the former Fluminense. You just see it. I mean, these River players, choking is not in the vocabulary for them. They are doing their job and doing it right. Carrasco coming out for this. Leandro Diaz coming out, and Sebastián Romero with the number 17 coming in. Double substitution for Quilmes. Let's see if this will have an effect on Ricardo Caruso Lombardi's men. There's a little balloon there in the field. Rojas leaves it for Ledesma, for Maidana, that was. Ramon Diaz to make a substitution perhaps. Could put Villalba in for Teo. Clearance from Mancioni. Benitez sends it back, and it's Carbonero with the ball. Carbonero with Mercado. Gabriel Mercado, the former Estudiantes, the youth product of Racing, 27 years old. Have a chance on this on Sabela's squad for Brazil. Barovero holding on to that one. Leges doing a good job. Dispossess River there. And Quilmes with much better ball movement in the second half at least. So in this first 15 minutes, perhaps we could see something from the Cerveceros here. The Cerveceros who've been having a fantastic run lately in the final stages of this torneo final, avoiding relegation, doing something that only today was achieved by Godoy Cruz, Colón, and Rafaela, and matches just before this one here. Ball in, too far for Gonzalo Rios, and it's going to be a River throw-in, and Vangioni asks a bit more. From his side. So all of Rivers substitutes out in the sidelines warming up. A sign that Ramon Diaz pretty much doesn't know what to do yet at this moment. See the number 30 there, little speedy little Daniel Villalba. Keiko. Very, very good player. Also a River youth. 21, still with a long future ahead of him. Daniel Villalba. Former Argentinos Juniors, who have descended to La B. Oh, and here's good stuff by Teo Gutierrez, trying to go in between the legs of Quilmes player, but Quilmes regained possession. Carbonero with the challenge, and Quilmes with the throw. Suarez. So Tigre in Victoria, I'd like to remind you, are up against second place Estudiantes, 2-1. Vangioni. Oh, and this is a fantastic play from Cavenaghi. Ledesma. Ledesma can shoot from outside, and it's a golazo! Ledesma, the oldest player of this side, scores, and it's nearly in tears. I don't think he's ever scored a more beautiful goal in his career. The 35-year-old makes it 3-0 in the 18th minute, and this is done, ladies and gentlemen. River Plate, rightful. Champions, and this has so much meaning for Ledesma, because at 35 years old, with a long resume, and this is his very first goal for River Plate. Very first and most important goal for River, for sure. It all started though with Cavenagi's great hustle, not giving up. Cavenaghi sending it back to Lanzini. Lanzini left it for Ledesma. Ledesma with the powerful, very powerful right. Not much spin, just with the top part of his foot. Nailing it in. Walter Benitez's goal, and 3-0 for River, igniting the stadium here in Central Buenos Aires. And here's River with more. Carbonero with the screen for Teo. Teo gets knocked down there by Benitez, but no foul play there. My. What a match from the Millonarios. If anybody had any doubts, I don't think they do anymore. I don't think they're done though. Balanta and Lanzini. It's only gonna be Di Balanta, Lanzini to Vangioni, and pretty much with the replay of that former attempt just a few minutes ago, sending it way over as well. But look at this fantastic goal by Ledesma. It was a three-toed shot just with the outside. Very well hit nonetheless, and no chance for Benitez. You have to have a wingspan much wider than that, my friend, in order to save a shot like this. I don't even think that well, maybe one of the greats from the past, Lev Yashin, the Black Widow, perhaps. But certainly not Walter Benitez of the Cerveceros. And it's 3-0 for Quilmes. I mean, excuse me, 3-0 for River. Mercado. Or to Mercado. Ariel Rojas. What a fantastic match by Rojas. Very technical player, good ability with his both feet. Ariel Rojas, essentially a midfielder, 28 years old, former Godoy Cruz, formed at Vélez, just cross town in the western edge of the city. God, and I think that this title, though, has initiated, I mean, the real start of this run was with that course, that win at La Bombonera when we saw Funes Mori Funes Mori, a defender, with the winning goal, 2-1, after a fantastic goal by Riquelme to untie it. And after that, River Plate been pretty much unbeatable. I mean, they just lost to Belgrano after that. And that was that match against Boca was in March, 30th of March. So 9 rounds after that, and they just lost once. Unbeatable in since April 6th, after the loss to Belgrano. At the Monumental, however, River have only lost once in this torneo final. That was back February 19th to Godoy Cruz. That great performance by Julio Cesar Rodriguez. Back when we were all saying that River, I mean, were not candidates to take this title. Certainly not. Here's the shot! And Cavenaghi. Cavenaghi pretty much got like an a la Dennis Bergkamp goal. First touch shot. Yeah, he's very offside there. First change for the El Más Grande. There it is. Here's Carbonero. Theo Cavenaghi with the fourth golazo! And Cavenaghi with the celebration a la Balotelli nails Quilmes' coffin and sends them packing back down to Quilmes. And 4-0 it is. 2 goals in the first half. Their second goal in the second half. Cavenaghi's just a fantastic performance by the 30-year-old. The captain of the side just before this. He's also a product of River Plate, coming back home, but this all started with Carboneros off the foot of Carbonero. Rojas again. My God, what a performance. What a performance by Ariel Rojas in this match. And Ledesma, standing ovation. Ledesma really in tears, rightfully so. It's Traneviter, Matias Traneviter coming in. A defensive mid for a defensive mid, pretty much, or Traneviter could play out a little bit wider. What a goal by Ledesma. Just the perfect scenario for the champions of the Torneo Final. Just 15 minutes away from lifting the Torneo Final. Eighth goal by Cavenaghi. Just 3 goals away from Mauro Zárate of Vélez, the top goal scorer of this tournament. Now, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter because for River, he is the idol. They couldn't have done it without the effort of this of Fernando and Ramon Diaz. What a magnificent image of Ramon with Emiliano, his son. This is such an amazing sight. I mean, this side deserves it. Been through so much in the past few years, taunting from all the rivals. I mean, imagine a side who previously hadn't gone down to the second division, going down to second division. If you're a big side, this, especially in South America, I mean, the taunting is incredibly annoying. And not only that, but just the difficulties of climbing back up. Took them 6 years, but they did it. Again, after 6 years. Elechea. Maybe the cross back in. Balanta with the header. River Plate's claim to fame began at the Torneo Final, of course, began February 9th with a win at the Monumental against Gimnasia. Then February 16th, 2 days after Valentine's Day, they went to Rosario and tied against Rosario Central. Then back at home 3 days later, lost to Godoy Cruz. Then lost to Colón in Santa Fe, 3-1. Back at the Monumental, they beat San Lorenzo by a minimum 1-0. In Victoria, drew Tigre 0-0. Back at home, beat Arsenal, also 1-0. By this time, we were saying, I mean, just River, they cannot play out away from the Monumental. They're a 50-50 side, a side who will just play well at home and can't really expect much from that. And they lost to Albois 3-2 at La Floresta, just cross town. And they beat Lanús 2-0. And then they beat Boca at La Bombonera 2-1. And then, my friends, that was a wrap. From then on, it's just a climb to fame and to this first place spot where they just recently, just 3 rounds ago, have pretty much been fighting for. And Cavenaghi going out and putting the armband, the captain's armband on Barovero, the second captain of this team. And Mitsegues comes in for Cabegol. Just holding on, shielding this win, this 4-0 bashing of Quilmes. Quilmes talked a pretty big game before the match. There was little they could do against the champions, the rightful champions of this Torneo Final. So on another note, Boca Juniors. At the moment, things looking up for Boca because they are beating Gimnasia by 1-0 with 83 minutes in La Plata. And Tigre are still up against Estudiantes 2-1 in Victoria. So what they need now is Lanús, who will play at 8:30 p.m. Eastern against Newell's, not to beat Newell's, and tomorrow for San Lorenzo and Vélez to end in a draw, which is very much possible in order to play the 2015 Copa Libertadores. which is pretty much what they're aiming for at the moment, since they have no other aspirations but to aim for the Copa Libertadores spot. I mean, I already have made it to the Copa Sudamericana, which is pretty much equal to a Europa League of South America. But of course, the Libertadores is the Champions League of South America, the highest continental. And we saw Ariel Rojas coming out. Final substitution. And it's Funes Mori coming in. Tejera, excuse me. Osmar Ferreira, 31-year-old former Independiente, coming in. Number 11, playing out here. The right. And my friend, into the final 10 minutes. These Warriors of River Plate deserve everything that this magnificent crowd have brought to the Monumental. Nothing but support, 100% of the time. And they're just waiting to invade the pitch and let it out. Yell it at the top of their lungs and rub it in the face of everyone. Herrera just came in. Fresh legs. Benitez. Herrera again. Benitez punching this one out. Walter Benitez, still very young, 21 years old. Not have a good night. 4 goals, 2 from Cavenaghi, 1 from Teo, 1 from Ledesma. Or excuse me, not 1 from Teo, 1 from Mercado. Header. Way wide. So Cavenaghi in the 10th. Mercado in the 25th. Christian Ledesma in the 63rd. Cavenaghi again in the 71st. River Plate 4. Quilmes 0. No better way to end it. Clean sheet. Biggest win of this season for River. And Dale Campeón is what the crowd already call them by the champions. Tigres still up 2-1. Boca still up 1-0 against Gimnasia. Nothing changing since the beginning of the second half, where Tigres were up. So, bit of news from Boca. Quilmes has signed again. Will stay until the end of their current president, to the end of his term. So Boca fans and the fans of the old style of football, the artful form of football, jogo bonito, futebol arte, have nothing to worry about, at least for now. But on the other hand, we lost one of those members. La Brujita Verón has retired from Estudiantes. Estudiantes, even though they didn't finish as champions, they had a very good run. Still with the chance to make it up to international competition. Not quite sure about the Libertadores. We'll have to wait after the end of this, the end of the Torneo Final, as well as after the World Cup break, and the real end to the 2013-14 season. Saw Maidana there playing around a bit. Barovero really not working at all. At least in the 85 minutes we saw here. Fans at the Monumental's stands pretty much have done more than Barovero has done throughout the entire time he's been playing out there, quote unquote playing. Ferreira shielded well by number 38 Suarez, and Emiliano right here. First image, Emiliano Diaz, the son of River Plate coach Ramon Diaz, his assistant and right-hand man. Just waiting 5 more minutes and some change. So Lanús and Newell's will play at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And San Lorenzo and Vélez will finish the Torneo Final tomorrow, May 19th, Monday, 7:10 p.m. Eastern. But guys, make sure you stay tuned, because 15 minutes from now, we'll have the unveiling of the Arena Corinthians. Corinthians taking on Figueirense for the Brasileirão, the round 5, still at the beginning of the top flight Brazilian league, most competitive in the world, not going through a fantastic phase. I mean, the Brazilian Tides have dominated South American football in the past 4 seasons, winning the 4 last Copa Libertadores titles. Santos, Corinthians, Atlético Inter, Santos, Corinthians, and Atlético Mineiro. And this year, Cruzeiro were the last members to reach the farthest spot in the Copa Libertadores, being eliminated by San Lorenzo of Argentina. But nonetheless, the Brasileirão is still the most competitive, or one of the most competitive leagues in the world. It's very difficult. They're very difficult league for you those of you who like to bet, to pick a winner, let alone pick a league favorite. There you saw Theo way ahead, but there's no offside off the throw-in. Just played it back, and River just milking the time here. Could go for a 5-0. Oh, it would be beautiful. Just round it up to 5. But they're already putting their jerseys on with the number 35 in the back, 35 titles. I said 36, but it's 36 counting with the, not with the professional league. Got Johnny down. Gonzalo Rios to take the corner. Medical assistance. Look at the time, just 2 minutes left. For regulation, plus at a time which shouldn't be much. Very clean match, nothing, no disruptions. Beautiful, beautiful match here at the Monumental de Núñez. The night couldn't have gone better for River Plate and their fans. Barovero, perhaps the, right there. Cavenagi's like, where's mine? There it is, got it. Cavenaghi has been through so many continents, let alone continents. Here's River. Here's River with the chance. 3 on 2. Has Theo to the right. He's gonna give it to Theo. 5-0. Said they could have gone for the 5th to round it up to 5, and they did it. Quilmes were way out of this game already. And Theo, along with Carbonero, Lanzini, and the 50+ thousands here at the Monumental de Núñez, have so much to celebrate, my friends. Theo Gutierrez onside, millimetrical decision, but onside, and you can see in the background River players already celebrating. What a magnificent sight with the cell phones in the background in the stands. And River Plate, the champions. Finally, River Plate, el más grande de Argentina, the champions of the torneo final. And River turned the page on that dark, dark period of history where they were descended to La B. And River, campeón of the torneo final, in front of their fans. May 18th, 2014 is a fantastic day. My friends, let's have a word from Ramon Diaz, the coach of this magnificent River Plate side, led by these Colombians, these 3 Colombians that were essential in this campaign. Five 0. Cavenaghi twice. Gabriel Mercado, Cristian Ledesma, Theo Gutierrez. River Plate 5, Quilmes 0. "35th title in the professional era after 6 years. River humiliate Quilmes. And River back to being River. Very similar goals from Theo and Cavenaghi. Diagonal shots. Just a magnificent, magnificent night for the Millonarios. So much history. So much history, and their 35th title is very, very well won in front of their fans. And with this, River ends their campaign of 19 matches played with 37 points, with a goal differential of 12. Nothing. No River fan could have hoped for a better ending than this in Carbonero. Carlos Carbonero, the 23-year-old. Former Arsenal, has made the right move to join this fantastic giant side. River Plate had a campaign before this where everyone was saying hashtags River vuelve a ser River, which means River back to being River. And that means big. River are back to being River Plate, synonymous with champions, with the leaders, just the biggest champions of this country. And 35 titles speaks for itself. Cavenaghi, the top goal scorer of the Torneo Final with 8 goals for River Plate. Mauro Sarti, of course, has the chance to stretch that difference away to the match tomorrow. And Boca Juniors actually ended in second place with their win and with Estudiantes losing. So how about that? River champions and Boca in second. President D'Onofrio, who hasn't been here long, with the first title for River. Ortega, Francesco, all present here. And River will surely play. They definitely play. Now it's safe to say that River will play San Lorenzo for the grand finale after the World Cup to define the 2013-14 champions of Argentina. So, stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. River Plate, the champions. When we come back from a break, it's the title lifting ceremony.